Hello there, YouTube. Welcome back to my subscribers, and if it's your first time on the channel, my name's Cameron, aka Lovecraft Fan, and I'll be doing something a little different for this video. The local Indian dealership had a demo event going on, so I rode over there and tried out a handful of bikes to see how they compare to the Honda Rebel 1100. There's a lot to cover, so I'll break the video up into two parts. In this video, I will ride the Scout Bobber and the FTR 1200, and then in the second part, I will ride a couple baggers, break down on the freeway, and give my thoughts on how the Indians stack up against the Rebel 1100. Spoiler alert, I'm happy with my decision. And on the way back home, I get caught in a rainstorm and get to test out rain mode. It was a really fun day, and I hope you enjoy watching. Next week, it'll be back to the usual Rebel 1100 content. The Scout Bobber didn't feel like it pulled as hard from the stoplight, but on the freeway it felt just as fast as the 1100, and it didn't stop at 100 miles per hour, although I didn't push it too far. Forward controls were pretty comfortable, but I don't think I'd prefer them. I liked the look of the analog speedometer, but hated the digital tachometer readout that was just numerical and looked like the window of an old calculator. The seat was comfortable. Without looking at the numbers, the bike felt wider and lower than the 1100. The bar end mirrors showed me less of my elbows than I expected. There was no cruise control and no riding modes that I noticed, but the bike felt solid, easily flickable, and had plenty of braking power. The FTR definitely seemed to pull harder than the Rebel 1100, but I did not love the riding position and having to point my toes straight down to operate the foot controls. I like the touchscreen and all its features, compass, digital gauges, cruise control. I did not like the way the throttle response seemed a bit delayed, especially when letting off the throttle and engine braking. On the Rebel, when you let off the throttle, engine braking is immediate. On the FTR, it feels like there was a noticeable delay between when you let off the throttle and when the bike starts to engine brake. It was kind of a weird feeling, but overall the bike was definitely a blast to ride. Well, that's about it for part 1. If you enjoyed this video, give it a like, and in the next one I will be riding a vintage Dark Horse and a Challenger. I'll have some excitement breaking down on the freeway, and I'll give more of my thoughts about how the Rebel 1100 stacks up against all these bikes. So everybody ride safe, and I'll see you in part 2.